All right, so this is going to be the second video of kind of the welcome introductory part of the course, and I kind of want to just go through the syllabus here with us, with you all. So you can have access to your syllabus via BB Learn, and again, just going to kind of go through this and kind of detail a little bit more about what's expected for the course, and hopefully that gives you a better idea of what to expect going forward. So again, my name is Bryce Blankenship. My email is bblankenship@uidaho. I've already emailed you a couple of times, so you definitely have that hopefully already in your inbox. A little bit about the course. This is an introductory course in metaphysics and epistemology. We will discuss the nature of reality and the nature of knowledge with facilitation of supplemental reading material, in-class discussions, or at least on our discussion boards, and various writing assignments. Let's see if I can take a drink. See, this thing's fancy, huh? All right. We take so much of our lives, of reality, of what we think we know, as a given. Things are the way they are because that's how they've always been and always will be. We're born into this world with regulations, parameters, expectations, rules, and we take all of this to be natural. That's just how things are, right? We can't change it. We can't do much about it. We just live this life. We just do these things, and that's about it, right? Moreover, we think we know so much. We think that we are the smartest and most all-knowing of all creatures. Our beliefs support our knowledge and knowledge acquisition, and we hate being wrong. This class will examine what it is we know, what it is we can know, and if we really know anything at all. Additionally, how does what we know, what we think we know, contribute to what we think we know about reality or what we claim to be real? Right, so there is undoubtedly a connection between kind of knowledge acquisition and our navigation through reality, and we'll kind of explore that connection throughout the course of the semester. And when I say semester, I mean 6 weeks. So, are there various realities, multiple realities? Are we just in a dream we can't wake from? We will examine the preceding questions and then some. We will discover to push and discuss the intricacies and the interesting nature of these questions, sometimes resulting without an exact answer, which is frustrating, but it's also enlivening. Okay, so that's a little bit about what to expect the next 6 weeks. And I make mention of this in the syllabus, but do take note that, this course, this online course, is 6 weeks, and the normal Philosophy 240 is 15 weeks. So it is highly condensed. There is going to be much more kind of an intensive reading schedule. It's not going to be overly rigorous per se, but it is going to be kind of heightened in some moments and be a little bit more, focused. So, for this book, Ishmael, I give about a month for students to read it in the live version of the classes. But for us, it's going to be about 2.5 weeks. So again, just kind of thinking about that and thinking about the nature of online education, that sometimes it gets a little more intensive. But and I'll explain a little bit more about that here in a second. Course objectives: be able to reconstruct arguments, interpret others' ideas, think, read, write critically while staying focused and concentrated on the subject matter. Gain appreciation and respect for others' worldviews, and that'll definitely be the case as we work through and work on the discussion boards. So there's only about 10 students in the class, and so we're all going to be in the same discussion board. I think that could be actually really, really nice. Be able to articulate and understand various philosophical positions regarding beliefs, knowledge, the self, the mind, and how they relate to an awareness of who we are. Okay? So a couple of required texts here. Okay, and first and foremost is this book called Ishmael by Dan Quinn. I came across this book when I was 19, 20, and it really changed a lot of the ways that I think from that kind of early stage, and it really pertains nicely to some of the subjects that we're going to encounter in the next couple of weeks. So I had sent you all an email a couple of days ago, or I guess when you look at this video lecture, it'll have been last week. But yes, do acquire a copy of this because it will be the main vehicle of assignments and examination for the first 2.5 weeks. Okay, so Ishmael, the copy that I have, I don't know what the copy is, but there's a new one out, and the page numbers are a little off. So actually, that's good to mention now. So what I will do on the assignments is, and in particular, I think that I have you all starting this book this upcoming Thursday, so that's Thursday the 27th. Yeah, that sounds right. And I have you required to read chapter 1. So I didn't do page numbers because our page numbers are going to be off depending on what kind of what book you get. So essentially, chapters are going to look like this. 1. Okay. So I will say please have read chapter 1 by date X. But I might say chapter 1, section 3, because in these chapters there are little sections. Okay. So chapter 1, and then there are various sections. But for your first assignment, for your first kind of getting your feet wet with this book, just chapter 1 is all that's required. But next weekend, I have you reading chapters 2 through chapter 6. So you'll finish right before 7. Okay. So that's how to kind of and so if I were to say, in a video lecture, or if I were to say in a discussion post, in chapter 4, section 2, right, we can all be kind of literally on the same page. Okay. All right. So Ishmael is required. The other 2 books that are required for the course is this book called On Bullshit, and I have found that students find this examination really interesting. You can see that it's very small, shouldn't cost too much. Excuse me. And then there's a follow-up book called On Truth. Okay, so Ishmael and On Truth. Ishmael, Bullshit, On Truth, and then I will supply other papers as it relates to metaphysics via BB Learn. Something to note here, and this is on the syllabus. It must be the case that you have reliable internet service. It must be the case. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Okay. So if you're going to be traveling a lot, if you're going to be camping for a week, which I love camping, it's the summer, you should certainly have some fun. But if you're going to be camping for a week with no internet, it will put you at a disadvantage in the course. You'll miss some assignments, and your grade will suffer. Okay, so make sure that you have a reliable internet. Additionally, all of the assignments that I post and their due dates and the times on them are all going to be in reference to the Pacific time zone. Okay, so if you're taking this class and you're not in the Pacific time zone, maybe you're in Boise, that is the mountain time zone, so you are an hour ahead. So just again, kind of keep that in mind as it relates to how you set up the course. Some of the assignments, there's going to be 6 response papers, so essentially 1 per week, each worth 30 points, so 180 points total. And then there's going to be each week kind of shorter reflection pieces, just kind of dealing with and kind of examining, topics in the books or just topics that come about. And there's going to be 6 reflection pieces, 15 points each. 1 final exam at the end of the semester, 50 points. And then there's going to be a discussion board, which all of us will have access to. And you're required to participate weekly on that, and I'll kind of tell you how I will assess your participation. But 20 points per week will be your grade as it relates to the discussion thread, and that's 120 points possible, which makes it the class a total of 440 points. Okay. These assignments will be described as the weeks unfold. You'll find information in the welcome video. Something to mention, okay? So for both the response papers and the reflection pieces, if you're looking in BB Learning, you can see there that I have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6. When you click on week 1 and you click on, let's say, Wednesday's folder, okay? And it may show up blank right now, today, Monday. It may show up blank. However, it is imperative that you check these folders every single day, because what I have done is I release assignments at 6 in the morning. Okay? So it might be the case that there's nothing in the folder for Wednesday at this point. However, it is imperative that you check the Wednesday folder. I would encourage you to check it in the morning, because there will be an assignment that shows up after 6 in the morning. Okay. So even though it may look like something is blank, You have assignments often due, and again, this is a way to kind of keep congruent with the course and kind of really promote a smooth trajectory as opposed to try to front load and try to get everything done out of the gates. I just don't think that's the most worthwhile use of time. So it is imperative, imperative, imperative that you check the folders every single day. Every single day. Okay? Because assignments will show up at 6 a.m. And then you will have either 18 hours if they're due midnight that night, or you will often have 2 days to complete them. Okay? So just keep that in mind as you're going forward. Okay? You can see the general timeline here. So the first week we're going to kind of intro, and I'll have another lecture on epistemology soon. And then we'll start Ishmael at the end of this week. Week 2, which I know is the 4th of July, so some of you might be traveling. I'll try to be mindful of that, but there still might be some assessments that need to be taken care of. Week 3, we'll look at both on bullshit and on truth. Week 4, we'll transition to metaphysics and think about the nature of identity. Week 5, we'll continue to talk about identity and the nature of freedom. And then week 6, the nature of freedom, and kind of wrap up the course. Okay? There will be various video lectures like this in the course, and there will be various other materials that I find relevant to whatever it is we're talking about. But I cannot stress the importance of checking the daily folders every day for what they are. Okay? Because I know that many of you are going to kind of say, oh, there's nothing here. There's nothing here on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. But in fact, if you click on the Wednesday folder on Wednesday, that was a weird inflection, but if you check on the Wednesday folder on Wednesday, you'll notice that there is indeed something, an assignment to do, maybe a video to watch, etc. Okay? Okay, I hope that makes... Actually, most of the videos will probably just be open and out there. But the course is definitely not designed, it's not designed to be able to kind of jump ahead too much. Okay? So, I hope that makes sense. If you have questions, feel free to email me. I think that's all I have for now. Yeah, welcome to the course. I am excited. I'm excited to kind of get this going. I'm excited that this headphone set works, because that would have been very tricky and frustrating, but I don't mind looking a bit silly to be able to communicate ideas, hopefully effectively and excitingly. Yeah, welcome to the course. Yeah, I look forward to the next 6 weeks together.